Okay, here it is. This is what we're gonna make today. My pride and joy. So quickly, I inherited this old TV console, and you see in front of you. Took out the old TV. It is now a real-life cubby. This is real. You can stick your hand in there. It's opening. It's got lights and everything. So I'm going to show you how to build it. But if you don't want to watch that whole thing, just go ahead and skip to the timestamp you see on the screen now, and you can just see the tour of the whole thing and enjoy it. So this is what we're starting with. We're going to try to restore this thing, but got some work to do. These are all ripped out. Got to refinish this whole top, and we'll basically refinish everything. Strip it and stain it and sand it and such. Try to figure out what to do with this guy. Maybe clean up these knobs and stuff if we can, and hopefully we can get some stuff working here. Maybe not the radio necessarily, but hopefully the turntable. That would be pretty cool. So, let's get started, I guess. Oh boy, look at all that stuff. That's a lot of dust. Alright, we're going to try to take this apart. Gotta be careful with this guy here, though. This big CRT. I'm gonna have to discharge him. Could be a lethal amount of energy stored in there, so be careful. So check it out. Got the whole thing gutted. Probably took 3 hours, I'd say, to get the whole thing out. Looked a lot more intimidating with all those tubes and everything in there than it does now. So this project feels a lot more doable. But there's basically, that's all the parts that I'm probably not going to use. There's a big TV tube that came out. Yeah, make sure you properly discharge those things before you take it out. Those can be really dangerous, and just be careful working with this stuff. Don't break any glass tubes or anything like that. And here's the TV frame, which came off. We didn't break that, even though it's plastic, which is good. And yeah, that was it. I probably should have documented this a bit more, but everyone's just going to be a little bit different. So just kind of check it out and take it apart. And I'm going to try to take it apart a bit more, because it looks like most of this is actually screwed together and not glued. So I'll take it apart as much as I really can. I think it'll make it easier for stripping. So I'm going to take it apart more, and then we'll start stripping this thing. Alright, so try to remove these things, but they are glued in there pretty damn good. So I'll be leaving that in there. So I'm just going to try to start refinishing this thing, or stripping it. I tested on this piece here. Came out pretty good. It looks like it came off in just one coat, so I should be good. So I'm just going to get started on it. I'm going to not do the insides of these because they look pretty good. I'm fine with those, and just leave those, but I'll do the whole outside and sides and everything. So I've never done this before, so I'm kind of learning as I go, but I'm going to get it set up and then start stripping it. Alright, check it out. Got all the stripper on there. I use this, where is it? Oh, this orange stripper. Citrus strip right there. So we'll see how that works. A lot of people recommend it. So just going to let it sit on there. Apply generously. I didn't do this front stuff. I think I'm going to flip it and do that. So yeah, that's it. Just letting it dry, and then give it about a half hour to an hour or so, and then I'll try to scrape it all off. It does feel nice though. Oh yeah. That is stripping it right off. Alright, so I did one coat of the orange stripper on there. I didn't quite get everything off, as you can see. This is finished. That's still on there. I think it's good. Like right here, it feels really good and stuff. It's coming off. I think I just let it sit too long. It started to get like really jelly sticky. So I my advice would be not to let it stick too long. But I'm just going to go again and try it again. And then, by the way, using this stuff to clean it up. Paint stripper after wash. So it says remove stripping residue from wood grain. That worked great, really cleans it up. And then also make sure to tape off, literally tape off anything you really don't want to remove the finish from. I should have taped this off, but you can see some of the goo got on there. But that's okay, I'll work with it. Oh yeah, that is satisfying. Well, this is coming out really good. I'm really happy. All the finish is coming off pretty easy, actually. I could have done it the first time. I know I could have if I hadn't waited so long. But yeah, look at that. That's all done. I liked flipping this thing, so the surface I was working on was parallel to the ground. It just kind of made working with that goo easier, and you know, I had the time to do it anyway. I'm not in a huge rush. So next I'm going to flip it over and do all the front stuff here, like all these trim pieces and everything. And a tip, which is super great, is using the scraper's great for flat stuff like this, but these pads, these final stripping pads, are super handy for stuff that's not flat. So I've been using this green one, the final stripping pad, to strip the stuff off on, like, you know, these corners and everything. It's kind of a texture. Those pads are kind of a texture similar to steel wool, but they don't shred really. So it works pretty well. And then I've been using this other one that's a bit finer to apply the cleaner on top and kind of clean it all off, and then wipe it with a paper towel. But I'll have to go in and after I'm all done and clean it again really good, because there's still some goop on there. But it's coming out good. So I should have filmed this a bit, I forgot. But I just cleaned up all these plastic parts a bit, the TV frame and the radio stuff and all the knobs. So it came out pretty good. Definitely not perfect because it's so old, and some of these knobs look great, like brand new. Whatever. But some of them, the ones that were used the most, definitely do not. But just getting all the dirt off them makes them look so good. And I just used some dish soap in warm water, and that was it. Nothing too abrasive. Mostly used this non-abrasive scrubbing pad to get them going. Toothbrush a little bit, and then this kind of nylon harder brush for the knobs, some of the knobs. But yeah, it came out good. I think I'm pretty happy. I may spray paint a couple of the knobs that aren't the best, but other than that, it went great. So I decided to completely remove the TV screen and build out kind of like a little cubby hole inside so I could display collectibles or store records or whatever in there. But that required kind of a bit of modification to the cabinet and this plastic TV frame. So I just kind of had to remove a lot of the plastic from this frame that was there to support the heavy TV tube, just because it wasn't necessary anymore, and it didn't really look very good. It wasn't totally finished or anything. So I just used a Dremel to slice out all that unnecessary stuff. Alright, so I got these installed, which will make it kind of re-support the shelf, because it'll have a bit different legs, and it'll support the bottom of the cubby that's going to lay in here. That's going to be for the opening of this TV here. And as you can see, I've gone in and trimmed away all of the plastic there, so I can get the wood shelf right up in there, so you won't even see, hopefully you won't see the seam, I guess, from the front. And you can see I had to kind of cut away a bit of the frame here too, so that I will be able to fit the wood in there. So next is just going to be fitting that in there with kind of a nice curved front to it, so it goes in there nice, and then yeah, just cutting it to fit in there. So let's do that. So I got this bottom shelf all cut out. I gotta cut the back off still, but fit in there. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. You can see I fitted around all that stuff there and cut a slight curve to it. I made a pattern, but then check it out from the front. You can't see it at all. I mean, if you get in there, you can see it, but you're never gonna see that. So really happy with how that edge came out. I think it looks great. All right, so got a lot of it done, got the whole back on. I did a lot of kind of woodworking fitting, but I'm no expert, and this is kind of a case-by-case basis for these things, so I didn't document the whole thing. But yeah, I got the whole inside done. That tape is just gluing on some little spacers, so that'll come off. I'm gonna take this all apart to paint it and stain it and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm pretty happy. That cubby looks great. Really happy with it. Pretty good for the way these cracks line up. For not being a woodworker, I'm good with it. And then, yeah, just got the whole back on. Nice thin little back, got it screwed on. All right, so check this out. This was the old selector switch on the top, so you could switch between the TV and the radio, and we reverse engineered it. I got these lights, these LED strips. They're just Govee LED strip lights. They have a little controller box here to change some stuff, but they also are app controlled, which I wanted. So what I did was took this switch and check it out. It operates the lights on and off. Isn't that sweet? So just a little bit of reverse engineering. Wasn't too hard, but pretty stoked about that. So I spent some time gutting this radio. There was a ton of electronics on the back. It was just super heavy. Didn't even work anyway, so I just took all that off. Just left the mounting points and then this front faceplate. And then I was actually able to, this tuning string here, let's see, can you see that? Tuning string, I was able to reroute it so it still works. Normally it went all the way back here to a like a tuner thing, then it went back there, but I was able just to redo it on this right there and just tie it off. So everything should be functional. All the knobs will work and everything, which is pretty cool, but it's just the face that'll bolt in there. And then I am working on starting these LEDs. So there was a light in here that sat right here, a little bulb that sat right there that illuminated this stuff when you were using it. So I'm going to replace that with an LED. So I have all this extra light strips inside, that because I don't need that much just to light the cubby. So I'm going to have, I've been taking nail polish so I can just black off the LEDs that I'm not going to use, and it totally blacks them out. So it's pretty handy. So that's the one I will be using, and then the rest of them around it are all blacked out, you can see. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty excited about this now. So check this out. We got the switch here. Turn it on. Bing, bing, boom. Radio light comes on. The lights inside of the cabinet come on for illumination. The channel light comes on. Let's get that in focus. So your channel will illuminate. I don't have the whole cover on there yet. And then there's a light in here for the to help you see your record as you're dealing with that comes on. And then they're all color changing like that. So they're also Wi-Fi. There's an app to control all this stuff. So you can set it on a timer so it automatically comes on and off at night. You can, and then change all the colors. You can dance it to music, all that stuff. And then you can, but I love that it's also able to be controlled just straight up right on here. And it dances for a second and then it goes back to the color you set it at. Isn't that awesome? I'm so happy with this, with these lights in here. So yeah, you can see I got them all kind of strung up in there. You know, taped up. I cut some 45-degree angle stuff so they're at a nice angle. And that's that. Yeah, I'll show you the back. They're just kind of strung around. I still need to paint over the ones that are exposed. But yeah, I was able to just kind of put them into the radio and the TV where they needed to be. And that's it. So I'm super stoked on these. I can't wait to finish this thing totally up. So I just finished putting on these legs that I just got from Amazon. I think they were like 20 or 30 bucks. I'll get a link to them too. And they're angled. The screws go up from the plate into the leg at an angle, and then it's just a nice flat plate on the cabinet. So you don't have any, like, it's not gonna, the metal isn't holding the weight of the angle, which is important. Some of those that you can buy, the metal can kind of just bend under the angle. So yeah, got these on, got them nice and solid. I put some extra, yeah, like for stuff that wasn't being, screws that weren't going into deep wood, I put some extra stuff there, so they should be all very good. So yeah, happy with these. So I got this thing all taken apart again. and I'm going to get ready to, I'm going to sand it, get it all, perfect. It's pretty good already, but sand it down so it's all good and perfect, and then start staining it. So I got everything taken apart so I can just get to these easy. And then these legs I need to strip. There's a little bit of varnish or some sort of finish on there. I need to strip these and then sand them, and then I'll also stain these legs too so they match. So that's what I'm doing. So I've started staining. I'm using this gel stain from General Finishes and Nutmeg. Kind of wanted to keep everything basically the same color, but just kind of make it a little richer and match everything, the light spots and dark spots and stuff after I sanded it. So this one I've stained, and this one I have not. So they're pretty similar, as you can tell. A little hard to see in the video, but yeah, just this one just looks a little nicer to me, a little warmer, I think. But I'll do that one too. Yeah, I like it. I'm happy with the color. Okay, so I got it all stained, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm not an expert stainer, so I'll kind of, I won't take too long on this. I didn't show you anything because you can probably just look it up on the internet. That's what I did, how to do it. But a couple tips that I picked up which were good is to use a wood conditioner, definitely. Or if you don't have a wood conditioner, just kind of soak it with water, but let it dry. Use a damp cloth and wipe it with water, but then let it dry completely. That's what I did, and it's been a pretty even finish. I'm pretty happy with it. Looks really good. I matched the front and the back pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. This will go inside. I'm going to do one more coat on that, but you got to wait a few hours for it to dry. Sand down. Do about, 100 grit, and then I went to 150. You don't want to go too fine so that you have enough grit on your wood for the stain to absorb in there. And speaking of stain, I really, really like this gel stain. Super easy to work with, and I kind of recommend that now compared to other stains that run and stuff like that. It's worked well for me. So that's it. I'm going to get the interior stuff going now, and I'm going to prime the interior parts that I'm going to paint. I also did a second coat of stain on these legs just to darken them a bit so they match more with the cabinet. So these are all my interior pieces that I want to paint. So got them out now. I'm going to primer them first so they can soak up some of that and get a nice even coat. Cool. Got these all primed. They're looking pretty good. I may do one more light coat just to get them nice and even, but they're pretty good. So just finished putting on the first coat of the top coat. It's still a little wet there. You can kind of see the shine of it starting to come in. So I'm pretty happy with it. My first time using this stuff, so that's why I didn't record it, because I ain't no expert, but I used this high performance semi-gloss from General Finishes, which is just a water-based top coat. Went on fairly easy, I think. Again, it's my first time doing it, so just kind of watched some videos on how to do it, but I think it looks okay. I'm a little worried that there is brush strokes in there. But I'm going to see how it dries, and I sand it between coats and everything. But got all of them, all the wood kind of done. These guys on both sides are going here, so got the legs done. And then I've got the first coat of blue paint on these guys too inside, so pretty cool. I like this color a lot. It's kind of fun. So yeah, those have got some texture on them too. We'll see how that dries, but that's okay. They don't have to be perfect, or they're not going to be perfectly smooth and stuff, but yeah, overall not bad. Pretty happy with it. We'll do some more coats for sure, but that's it for now. Hello friends, just a little update. Got the second coat of everything on, so second coat of top coat on. It's looking really good. Quite happy. Yeah, when you sand it down and do the second coat and stuff, you really get rid of the brush marks and stuff. I'm quite happy. So we got that done. This guy's second coat on all these. Also got a second coat on the paint, so now that's finally starting to cover totally. I'll probably just do one more coat of everything on everything just to be safe, but it's looking pretty good. I could probably quit now, but I'll do a little bit more. So I just found this fabric at Joann's, and it's pretty thin, so stuff should be able to go through, no problem. Audio, and then here's the speaker grill cover that I cut out, so I'll just cut out the fabric to match it. Then I just put down a little spray adhesive and laid down the wood, and then I wrapped over the edge fabric using this magnetic tape to kind of hold it on there. It worked okay. I'm just not sure that the adhesive on the magnet tape is strong enough to really last, but we'll see. It could work for now. And then I installed the speaker covers by putting magnet tape on the magnets with the adhesive side out and then sticking it directly right onto the cabinet like this. So ideally they'll come on and off just magnetically, but again, I just don't think this adhesive is really going to hold up on this tape. I might have to find some better stuff or some thicker magnet tape maybe. And then it's really just a matter of reassembling the whole thing and putting it together. Just put all those old components back into the TV, put the cubby back on, put the lights back in, and you're done. You're in business. Nice job. So now it is done. This was like 3 months of my life working on this thing. Woodworking takes forever. Finishing this wood, whew, that was a lot of work. Never done it before, but quite happy. Look at that finish. A little bit of shine, not too much. A little bit of brush strokes, but not bad. Pretty good. I think it looks protected, but also natural. Not like weirdly too shiny or whatever. Okay, let's go on the tour. So we got lights. Let's start with the lights. So clearly got the light strips all up in here, nicely illuminating the cubby where you can put your wine glasses, your records, your comic book collection, your action figures, whatever. But here's the best. I love this. Here's the radio. Got the radio working and everything. All the knobs work. Boop, boop. Let me focus that for you. There we go. All the knobs turn. The tuning still works. All these knobs, yes, you can trust me. It all works. But here's the best part. Here is the old on-off switch. As you can see, the radio is on now. If we turn it off, the lights go off. You hear that nice click? That beautiful click sound. It feels so good. And let's turn it back on, huh? Well, let me focus for you. Oh, it all turns back on. See how those lights dance too and change color, but then they go back to the color that you want. So, whew, I'm getting winded. I'm so excited. So yeah, all those lights are color changing. They're on an app and a timer and Wi-Fi or whatever, but we got them wired up to work on the old switch. So let's do it again. Okay, here, I'll show it over here. You can hear the switch. Hold on, focusing. Okay. Off right there. Look at that. Isn't that great? I just love that. And, of course, got this light in there, so the radio lights up too, comes to life. And one of my favorite parts is I got a little light. I don't know if you can see it. I was able to kind of get the LED strip back into there. So, the channel selector knob lights up. So, you can still change the channel. It lights up and everything. So here, let me show it to you off. So see, it's gone. Totally is gone. So if that light wasn't there, you wouldn't get to use those anymore. Just so happy with that. These knobs all work still. You know, they don't do anything, but they're just for fun. I just love that you can still change the channel and everything. It's so cool to me. Didn't totally fix everything on here. I kind of like the like patina aged look of these knobs. I was thinking about spray painting them, but I just don't think it would look right. And this, again, I inherited this. This is my family's. So we got a little surprise in here. I got my dad and my aunts and my uncles in there. Not bad, huh? Because this was their TV. So I like that little thing in there. So that's, well, let me show you. So obviously this is the top and the radio's here. This guy goes down. This side, this is where the record player was. But no record player anymore. I just couldn't get that thing fixed. It was just way too gone. I don't have the skills to do that. So it's just an empty shelf for now. So here's the thing. There's no speakers in this. There's no nothing because I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put this. It's not going to stay here. So it's just going to kind of be in storage here for now. But once I figure out what I'm going to do with it, then I'm going to put everything I want in it. Like I plan to put just a regular turntable, just place it in here, and then it's a light and stuff like that. And then I will kind of open this up and get back in here. And you notice I didn't cut out, there's no holes cut out in the speaker grills even. There's no speakers in there or anything because I didn't know if I wanted to do like a more of a music setup or more of a movie type of speaker setup or something like that. So I got to get back in there and kind of add all the speakers, add an amplifier. I'm going to add the record player. I'll probably just have a module that does Bluetooth or Wi-Fi AirPlay audio or something like that too. And then it will just be kind of a whole entertainment system. I'm even thinking maybe I can have these come off magnetically or on a hinge, and behind there have kind of a DVD player, Apple TV type of thing hidden so that it's, and then I could put a TV up on the wall behind it or one of those Samsung frame TVs that look kind of cool or something. So I don't know. That's where I'm at now. That's why it's not totally finished with the speakers and everything. But I think that's about it. I showed you everything. Super happy with the way this thing came out and the way I was able to match the wood colors, from these legs that were just from Amazon with the existing wood. I'm really happy with the finish of the wood that I was able to get. It's just good quality stuff. It looks way, way better than it did for sure. And yeah, I just like the whole styling of it. How I was able to update it or modernize it to mid-century modern style a little bit with the new legs and kind of change the speaker grill covers and stuff like that. So yeah, excited to really get this thing in a permanent home and a place for it and put the speakers in and everything. But that's it. Again, if you have any questions about the build or doing one of these yourself, let me know. Yeah, if you're doing one, let me know. Send it to me or put it in the comments or something. I really want to see other people doing these. But I feel like I'm out of breath. I'm so excited. I got a lot to say. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.